The Asia Pacific Amateur Championship has returned to the land of the rising sun. And in the shadows of Mount Fuji, its host, Taiheiyo Golf Club Gotemba. 120 players from 40 countries arriving earlier this week to compete for the ultimate prize, an invitation into next year's Masters and the Open Championship. Inspiration found from Japan's own Hideki Matsuyama, who won back-to-back in 2010 and 2011.
Hideki Matsuyama for the second consecutive year.
With 3 days remaining, which player will put his best foot forward and reach the peak of amateur golf's tallest mountain here in Japan? The Asia Pacific Golf Confederation, in partnership with the Masters Tournament and the R&A, proudly present the 2024 Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. We waited a long time on this Friday for the rising sun, with spitting rain and sitting fog, resulting in long delays. Play beginning only an hour ago, and it was scheduled to start at 6:30 local. So we are 6.5 hours behind, playing a game of catch-up. 60 miles southwest of Tokyo, at the base of Mount Fuji. Taiheiyo Club Gotemba, Sevi, Hideki, Jose Maria Olazabal have all won here. The Taiheiyo Masters professional event on the Japan Golf Tour. Tiger played the World Cup here in 2001. Immaculately conditioned and a stunning backdrop. Joined by Frank Nobilo, 15 times a winner around the world. Colt Knost won the U.S. Amateur, formerly #1 ranked amateur of the world. Paul Gow from Australia played the PGA Tour. And Amanda Balionis has the interviews. Rich Lerner and crew, and a privilege to be here at one of the significant amateur championships in the world. So Frank, this morning, that thick fog was just laying right on top of the Taiheiyo Club here at Gotemba.
It certainly was, Rich, and I think that was by virtue of the 4 inches of rain that we nearly had over the last 24 hours. Fog set in, and well, it was a little mystic across the golf course, and there was a good reason why play did not start. It was due to start at 6:30 this morning, but 4 inches of rain, despite the amazing ground crew, it was just not possible.
Not surprisingly, they will play golf ball in hand this afternoon for round 2. Just gorgeous, Frank.
It is. It's hard to imagine this has all happened within sort of the last 6 or 7 hours. I guess it's the mountain effect. Mount Fuji in the background. It casts a very big shadow. Golf course will start to dry out. It drains very well.
We're able to cut the greens running at just a shade under 11. This is our featured group this afternoon. We saw plenty of these guys yesterday, and they are impressive. Young man from China right there. That is Wen Yiding. Lost in a playoff last year at Royal Melbourne down under. Jasper Stubbs winning. He's the 5th ranked amateur player of the world, highest ranked in this field. Young man just took off his head cover is Rentaro Nakano of Japan. There is Jasper Stubbs, 2 over yesterday. Nakano shooting 4 under, Ding 3 under. Nakano leading a strong Japanese contingent, Frank.
The home nation has 10 players. Extremely good. 7 of the 10 recorded opening rounds sub-par. It's a very strict par 70 around here. 2 converted par 5s. So 7 of their 10 already in red numbers. There was actually only 23 players out of the 120 that recorded a sub-par opening round.
Another one of our featured groups. He's with Quinton Croker. Outstanding young player from Australia. What are your impressions of Wen Yiding, Frank, having seen him now for a couple of years?
He does get better. He's grown into that big frame, 6'3". Saw him last year. I think his rhythm this year is even better. Colt followed that group yesterday, and when he did, to be fair, he didn't have his best stuff, but he showed a patience that wasn't quite there last year. So he's a better version.
All right, this is Ken Shao. He's having himself a good championship.
Green's obviously soft. That's an excellent approach shot.
Chinese Taipei. So was Randy Bintang, 20 years old, from Indonesia, 5 under, 65 to lead the way. Golf course is a par of 70. Talked about the excellent play from the Japanese. 3 Japanese players have combined to win the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship 4 times. Hideki saw that at the top of the show 4 times. And then Takumi Kanaya and Keita Nakajima, all of those world #1s as well. And Jasper Stubbs, he's the defending champ. That was a thriller last year, Frank. At one point, he was 7 shots back in front of the home fans at Royal Melbourne, staged a furious rally, and then was clutch late.
Yeah, it was an amazing playoff. 3 of the best players in the
Playing in
field.
Group 17, on the tee, from Australia, Jasper Stubbs.
Colt Nose with this group. 4 bunkers to be avoided on the opening tee shot.
And Frank, he's going with 3-wood here, looking for something around 240 off the tee down that left side. But that was a hard-fought round yesterday for him. Birdied 2 of his last 5 to get in with 2 over. This one is headed up that left side. Perfectly fine.
Birdied 4 of his last 9 in that opening round. Turning point was early on that second 9. He birdied 10 and 11 to go from 1 over to 1 under. 19 years old, from China.
Going with a long iron, but he has pulled this left. This looks like it's going to miss the fairway.
Rentaro Nakano.
Frank, I love the way this guy plays. He absolutely just sends driver on basically every hole out here.
Yeah, same strategy as yesterday. He was bogey free.
Did have a 3-putt par 5 finishing hole. Was bogey-free 66, did make eagle at number 3. A couple of birdies on top of that.
This one is hammered, but heading left. Should have enough to cover the bunkers.
Settle down in that thick Zoysia rough. Interesting opening hole for these players here. The 10th, just 401 yards. Tee shot just a little downhill. Those 4 bunkers I referred to be avoided. You saw the iron play of Ding, trying to keep it short of the left one. Nakano was trying to take them all out of play. 290 yards, that's a long carry down there, but if you carry that, fairway does start to widen up. It'll be just a flip wedge. This green, it's almost like a big molar, very narrow in the front, does widen up, especially where they've cut today's hole location in the back left. Good opportunity for these players.
Let's bring in Paul Gow with Ken Chow.
Yeah, beautiful start to his day with his second shot in here. Double bogeyed this yesterday, and this is a real makeable putt. He should move from his right to left. Just got to get the tempo right with these. You know, good positive start. Well, he doesn't seem to be liking that much. That's just falling away. Yeah, those sort of days you want to start with the birdie, get that confidence flowing.
Plays college golf in the United States at Purdue. In the Big Ten, he's a senior. And on the other side, this Taishi Moto of Japan. He opened in 4 under 66.
There's a lot of experience around this golf course. Played the professional event that's held here just a couple of years ago.
He is committed to play college golf in the United States at University of Arizona, beginning there in January. This was a Wednesday night welcome reception. youngsters mixing it up. Coat and tie, you like to see that. Local fare. Best of Japan. Wonderful, tradition-rich country. Neil Farquharson and some others, the dignitaries from the governing bodies in the Masters tournament, and then Rentaro Nakano with a pledge of fair play, which has become a tradition, and the night ending with the big fellas, the big hitters. Sumo's front page sport here in Japan.
It is.
In the same way that football is in the United States.
Different version of a hug. But yeah, it was a wonderful reception. This clubhouse has been here for nearly 40 years.
You played here in the 90s, Frank, Taiheiyo Masters.
It is. It was always one of the crown jewels, really, to play on the Asian tour or the Japanese tour. The three biggest events: Casio World Open, Dunlop Phoenix, and of course the Taiheiyo Masters.
It's Rentaro Nakano. As they just get going here at the 10th, and Wen Yiding iron off the tee in the rough. Ball is sitting up, Colt.
Yeah, he drew a really nice lie, has 175 left. Golf course is extremely soft. Sounded a little high on the face there. This too headed left. Not a very good start for Ding.
Fortunate with that bounce. Galt picked it towards the putting surface, makes that chip a little easier.
Frank, typically when it is this wet and saturated, you think, well, they're going to take it apart. As we take you to the 11th hole, and Kent Shao.
You're going to need some length on these conditions, especially on a hole like this.
I have to ask you, what are some of the challenges when it's this wet?
Ball's just not going to run. You have two converted par fives, 11 being one of them. So you need every inch. So as we go back to 10, second shot for stops.
You can just see the splat, that from 166. And Frank, with it being this wet, it is so important to hit fairways today so you can get your hand on the golf ball.
Yeah, lift clean in place, use a club length.
It is squishy out there. Cole, what were your impressions of Rentaro Nakano?
I love his game. Really nice golf swing. Frank compared it to John Rahm yesterday. Has a lot of speed and rolled it beautifully. I mean, we saw him walk in probably 5 or 6 putts yesterday.
Really no disadvantage, Colt, finding the rough down here with such a short shot in.
Yeah, his lie is perfectly fine. Just 90 yards left. And even, I think coming from the rough, I mean, the ball's still going to land relatively soft considering these conditions. This one came out a little hot, but well controlled.
Excellent shot. Rentaro Nakano won the 2023 Japan Amateur Championship, and last weekend he made the cut in a Japan Golf Tour event, professional event, closing with a final round 64. He can go. 28th last year at Royal Melbourne. And earlier this week, we had a chance to learn just a little bit more about the young man, Rentaro Nakano from Japan.
Last year, I competed Asia Pacific from Australia, Royal Melbourne. I get a very good experience, but not good result. I feel a very frustration, but this year opened in Japan. That's very lucky, so it's my advantage a little bit. I know this course, and I used to this course, so it's revenge.
Rentaro is an intense guy. He's not someone who laughs and jokes a lot out on the golf course. He's pretty serious about what he's trying to do. He knows this place really quite well. I know to win in Japan would be phenomenal for him. So he's serious about trying to show that he's a world-class amateur player.
Hideki Matsuyama wins the Asia Pacific from Japan. So if Japanese open the tournament, we'll be get a lot of Japanese fun, the gallery. So it's helping my motivation and gonna be good result.
The motivation that those victories, so Hideki obviously of course at the start, but then Takumi and then Keita, and how that's motivated the players underneath. And I think Rentaro really like to see himself as one of those players. He sets himself up as one of the leading player, the leader, like the senpai of our team, even though it's an unofficial title. I think he takes that role quite seriously, sets some good habits for the rest of the team.
Yeah, Japanese champions going back to Hideki Matsuyama in 2010, was then low amateur at the Masters. That was at Kasumi Gaiseki, which hosted the Olympic Games more recently. Hideki back-to-back, and then Takumi Kanaya and Keita Nakajima both reaching #1 in the world, Frank, and under the tutelage of Gareth Jones from Australia, this Japanese national team has produced.
Excellent program. All three have started very fine professionals' careers, but just this is Japan's team in the opening day. I mean, just an excellent start for them, and obviously they're favourites going in, the amount of golf that they've played around here.
All right, back at 10. That's the opening hole for the defending champ Jasper Stubbs and Colts there.
This whole location back on a little shelf, extremely slow.
Reminiscent of what he did, Frank, on that second extra hole with one of the best lag putts we saw at any level in 2023.
It was a great finish. Now up ahead, 13, the par 3, a young Thai player. 40 different countries are represented. Oh, super shot.
Wow. Saran Jantratit. Beautifully done. Now Wen Yiding at the 10th.
Pretty straightforward here. Perfect lie on an upslope.
Work to be done for Ding now.
Ken Chao second at the 11th.
We talk about the length of these wet conditions.
Yeah. Extremely, he's going in with a bit of lumber here. 247. Don't think he can get it. A little breeze getting into your face now. This golf course is wet.
It's respectable right there. At the 10th, birdie putt now, Nakano. This to tie the lead.
Made a number of these yesterday up the hill, moving to his left.
Opening par. If you look down at the field, 120 players from 40 different countries and territories. Masters tournament, the Asia Pacific Golf Confederation. This championship underpinning all of it. Players do not pay a dime here. They're flown here, they're put up here. Wen Yiding is the highest ranked player at #5. We saw Salem yesterday, just 12 years old from Jordan. Has a lot of game. We'll see him in the future. A friend from Lebanon at age 66 telling us he loves this game. So appreciative of the opportunity that he's been afforded. Now, Wen Yiding, par putt to start.
Been ugly so far, but can get out of here with a par.
Impressive, Frank.
Yeah, he has that patience now. Won enough tournaments around the world. These are almost American-like conditions right now. Went to college there. Now up ahead to 11.
Yes, Lau Pakti from Thailand.
Yeah, the sun now peeking through here, guys, and this green is a big green, but it's a long way down here and very soft. He's hoisted this way up in the air.
Oh, that's a really good-looking golf swing he possesses.
Pangsapak Lau Pakti. Seen him the last few years. Now with more on Rentaro Nakano, let's welcome Amanda Balionis.
Hi, Rich. You just heard that great interview conducted by Lauren Witherspoon with Nakano. He calls this week his revenge week, which you gotta love that mentality. He probably has a little bit more confidence than most, though, because he's really familiar with this golf course. His swing coach is not only a member here, he was the 2020 club champion. So Nakano comes out here and plays often with his swing coach and also gets that home course intel. You got to think that's an advantage, right?
Most definitely, Amanda, yeah. The type of greens, and also, Rich, being so close to the mountain, you get that mountain effect there. The greens are very subtle, sometimes difficult to read. So he has that experience. Hidden behind the clouds at the moment, Mount Fuji. This is a strong par 4. That forward tee.
Frank, it's going to take a very long drive just to be able to get an iron into the 11th today. This one came out really low and headed to the right.
That was the shot that plagued him yesterday.
And Frank, if you watch that golf swing, the belt buckle looks to go forward towards the golf ball, and the club gets stuck behind him.
Yeah, lays the face open.
When you ding.
A little bit of a nervy start, but got out of there with par at the 10th. He would love a par here at 11 and just head over to 12. This one started up the right, should have enough to cover those bunkers.
Nice shot.
Yeah, just a little bump and run here for Ken Chow at the 11th green.
Yeah, a little bit questionable with the club selection here. Upslope to a little ridge. Yeah, and the greens are so soft. You want to take spin off it, not put it on it.
Misspoke. Was not a bump and run for Ken. Nakano.
We mentioned his wrist was bothering him yesterday. Was swinging at around 118 miles an hour. Today when he warmed up was up around 120, Frank.
That's serious speed, Colt. Average on the PGA Tour around 113, 114 mile an hour.
Sorry.
Not an inch of roll.
Taiheiyo now at the 2nd.
Yeah, straight away par 4, so no uphill or downhill to judge. Soft conditions, yeah. It's got to fly it further than that. Get a good chance here at opening holes, 2 par 4s before we get par 5 third. Now to 11.
Yeah, Paksapak, Lau D.
Just putting up through these shadows now. We've got sun out here, so there's a few shadows they haven't seen in a couple of days. Oh, he's giving this a good run. That's a good try up there. That's like stealing one if you make a 3 here today.
Good players through the years from Thailand. Think about Tung Chai Jaidi, Prayad Markson, Kiradek, Api Barnrat. Now Matsui for par at the 6th. No, my goodness. He birdied 1 and 3, then made double at the par 3 4th, bogey at number 6. So all that good work. He's given a lot back. You can see just a bit out of sorts at the moment. Ken Chow after that poor chip, this for par.
Yeah, coming up through the shadows here. This is sitting not in a great spot for him here.
guys go the other way in what you would think would be favorable conditions, very little wind and obviously soft. Golf ball in hand. Frank talking about just how important it will be to hit fairways so you can get your hands on that golf ball. Randy Bintang, one-shot lead here early in round 2 in Japan.
Japan's leading player. Nakano makes his way down the 11th. Long par 4 today. Green protected by that wooden area on the right as well as on the left side. Those 2 trees in the middle of the fairway, they're about 100 yards short of this par 4, so should not be in play. Conditions much better than we anticipated, giving these guys a chance this afternoon. But it is just a wonderful area here, Gotemba. It's been civilized for more than 2,000 years at the base of Mount Fuji. Really a perfect asymmetrical cone. And it's just one of the few months of the year, really, where it's not covered in snow. Just over 12,000 feet tall. And it's the 7th highest mountain on an island. Japan is a collection of islands, nearly 4,000 islands. And one of Japan's holy mountains. No surprise, it's a World Heritage Site. It's a photographer's paradise. Has moods, really. We've seen it just sit there incredibly proud today. It's a little hidden.
From the center of a squishy fairway here at the 11th, this is a Rentaro Nakano, second shot.
70 yards longer than he had in yesterday, Frank. Hit 9-iron in here yesterday. That's a 2-iron on the way.
A lot of water got between ball and face.
This is headed right, and there's a lot of trees over there.
Bunker.
Could have been worse. There's a couple of holes that'll play very difficult today. 11 being one of them, 6 another. Just one more look at the contact. Just an explosion of water. What happens is the water starts to fill the grooves up in the club, so you lose the control. Now stops.
That from 219 with not a very good lie.
Asking for it to sit. Did not. Relatively easy bunker shot, though, from there for a high-level player. Now Wen Yiding.
Has 214 left back in this wind, want no part along. Nothing wrong with just hitting this in the center of the green. That very high, just a little right of it.
And with these magnificent pines that we're seeing, has a feel and look of Sahali in the Pacific Northwest, where they've played major championships in the United States.
Yeah, cedar trees or Japanese cypress around this golf course. Now across to the other side of the golf course, the second.
Taishimoto.
So struggling to adjust with the greens being a little slow. They are slower than yesterday.
To the 12th, this is Ken Chow.
Yeah, Kent's not that long off the tee. The other players are a lot longer. He's just going to have to rely on good ball striking and yet another nice solid draw. I like his ball flight through here.
He gets after it. Randy Bintang, Indonesia, waiting to start his second round with a one-shot lead. on 3 players, 2 from the home country of Japan. We are at last, after a lengthy delay, underway here. Taiheiyo Club Gotemba in Japan. The Asia Pacific Amateur Championship is brought to you by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? IBM, let's create. AT&T, we believe connecting changes everything. And Mercedes-Benz, the vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes.
So Moto, after that chip shot from the front, good 10 feet left for par. A bit of a shocker there. It's like giving a shot away. He's playing with the oldest gentleman in the field. Across to 12. Kent drove it down that left side, but no roll. Does not make the bunker.
Yeah.
It's an amateur event, so you can use range finders. Just can't have the slope rating. And the other advantage today, if you find the fairway, lift, clean, and place. Kent, just 21 years of age, that world ranking is certainly going to go down. Just a puff of breeze at his back. So goal really fly it all the way to the flag. His attention. Why wouldn't it? Straight over the top. So good shot from Kent.
Rentaro Nakano now from the bunker here at the 11th.
Rain has really compacted this sand. Helps you put a lot more spin on it. Oh, this one came out nice.
4.5 feet left for his par.
Colt referencing how that firm base is, so you don't have to open the club quite as much. Helps the longer shot. Very compacted. He is protecting that left wrist. You can see it's strapped. Now, Jasper stops.
Rolled back onto the upslope, so this is pretty straightforward here. Oh, that one came out heavy. I'll give that one a B, Frank.
So much on the line here at the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship 2025 Masters Tournament invitation, as well as spot in the 153rd Open at Royal Portrush in 2025 and the 130th Amateur at Royal St. George's. It is among the most significant Grow the Game initiatives the sport has ever seen, as we watch Wen Yi Ding.
Converted par 5, so this green's pretty small and rather difficult. Coming up a ridge. Oof. A lot more work left than he wanted.
You think about it, Frank, simple idea. Create heroes. Hideki Matsuyama, a hero to so many here in Japan. Young player like Nakano would say, I want to do what Hideki did. I want to win the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, win the Masters. Or Cam Smith, youngsters in Australia would view Cam as a hero and say, I want to do what he did. Play in the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, win the Open at the home of golf at St. Andrews.
Yeah, they've created heroes and winners. The exact total, 141 PGA Tour winners around the world.
Wow.
That's professional golf, have come from just a decade and a half of players in this very championship. Well, the birds are chirping, but this is for par.
Came up a good 6 or 7 feet short. Really had to rely on his short game a lot yesterday just to keep him in it.
Didn't like it from the start.
Quickest stroke. So I got off to that rough start yesterday, Rich, and struggling to try and get it back towards par.
Cole, what have you noticed?
He's just been a little off with everything, I would say. The golf swings, his timing hasn't been right. He's missed a lot of shots to the right. And he's just really been putting for par a lot, where these other two guys keep giving themselves chances of birdie.
Ding to save his par. Yeah, confidence builders early, Frank, for Wen Yi Ding. 2 good putts, first 2 holes.
Could easily have dropped shots at the opening 2 holes.
And a big fist pump from Dad.
Pre-championship favorite Wen Yi Ding.
Don't you love it? His father is so invested.
Yeah, for the par.
Nakano. Yeah, it's an excellent 4. And he's just going to join that list of so many good players, young players from Japan.
Frank, as you well know, great history of golf here in Japan. So many wonderful players. Long before Hideki Matsuyama, here's a guy who was top 10 for a long time, 85 weeks in the top 10 of the world. I'm guessing you would have run into Tommy Nakajima.
Yes, he's on property. I saw him just a few hours ago. I was lucky enough to play with him. Just a wonderful man too. And he's an ambassador for the game, not just Japan. He has traveled around the world.
And he is with Amanda.
He sure is, and I'm going to brag about you just a little bit more. 58 worldwide wins, and the first player from Japan to top 10 in all 4 major championships. It's an honor to have you join us. Let's just start with the tournament at hand. You had a storied amateur career yourself. What do you think about the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship? How much would you have liked to have played in something like this when you were younger?
中島選手もアマチュアとして数多くの試合にも出られたと思いますけれども、今回のような AAC の大会がアマチュア選手として出られるこういう大会についてはどのように思われますか？
いやもう素晴らしいことですよ。だってこの試合に勝てばマスターズに出れるんですよ。やっぱ僕らの頃ってマスターズって遠い存在だったけど、プロになってもたくさん勝たないとマスターズ出れなかった。今はこの試合に勝てば出れる。それがやっぱりアジアの選手たちにとってすごい励みになってる。そう思います。
So this tournament is obviously incredible because if you win this tournament, you can go to the Masters straightforward. So when I was an amateur, it was such a long way to play in the Masters, and as a pro, we had to proceed like many professional tournaments. But so this tournament is such an incredible opportunity for all players from Asia and the Pacific regions.
Incredible opportunity. You put male golf on the map, really, here in Japan. What impresses you most about the Japanese players in the field this week?
今週日本人の選手がたくさん出場されてますけれども、日本人の選手で最近のこの印象的な点というのを教えてください。
日本人選手すごく飛距離が出るようになったし、体も大きくなったし、やっぱり僕らの頃よりもやっぱり40ヤード50ヤード飛ぶようになってる。やっぱりそのパワーがやっぱりすごいですね。
So nowadays, Japanese players, they have more strength compared with when I was amateur. And then I think, their distance of hitting getting longer, like 40 or 50 years. So that is the most incredible characteristics.
Some big hitters for sure out there. Now, you are a great broadcaster now in your own right, and you made the call when Hideki Matsuyama won the Masters. What is your memory from that moment?
86年のジャック・ニクラスの優勝の時に僕後ろの組を回ってたんですよ。ですごいプレッシャーの中でプレーしたんだけど、やっぱりその優勝まですごく大変だっていうのを分かってて、その秀樹がそれをクリアしてくれて、その努力をずっと続けてきて優勝してくれたっていうことに感動しちゃったんですね。
So in 1986, when Jack Nicklaus won the Masters, actually I was playing one group behind Jack Nicklaus. So, I know how much pressure Jack Nicklaus was processing at that time. And I know that it's so hard to win the Masters. So I was so glad when Hideki Matsuyama managed to win the Masters.
You also told me off camera everyone was crying. It was such an emotional win. Now, before we let you go, our Colt Nose had a great question for you. In your prime versus Hideki Matsuyama's prime, who wins head-to-head?
Of course I win. It's joke. It's a joke.
I don't think it's a joke. He still got it. I believe in you. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us. It was a true honor. Emmy, thank you as well. Rich.
It's just a wonderful interview. Hideki, low amateur, at the age of 19 in 2011, and then the Masters champion. People forget just how well he played in that third round of the 2021 Masters, Frank.
Yeah, he completed that sort of amazing run of American players, Japanese players to play in the Masters. They're very proud. Now to 12.
Wen Yi.
Going with driver here, helping wind. Got to avoid those bunkers down the left.
Just back to Tommy Nakajima, Frank. He was sort of, famous through the years for a couple of big numbers that he had made. The 13 at Augusta National in the road hole. Here's Ken Shao. What should not get lost is, he won 8 times in 1983 on the Japan Golf Tour, and he was top 10, 6 different major championships.
Yes, well, he referenced 1986. That's actually when he got to 4th in the world. It's something Nakano will be chasing for one day in his career. Here he is at 12.
This is another one that is hammered up the left side, needs a kick right.
Well, that one settled way down, nestled in that rough. Baupakti from Thailand. Nice stroke. Okay.
Oh, looked like it was going to stay high for a while. So 3 over, and of course that moves them, closer to that cut line. There will be a cut. 60 players in ties. I know we won't complete the second round today.
Jasper Stubbs.
Oh, this a low hook, clips a tree. This is not very good here, Frank.
At least he'll have a swing from there, but certainly obstructed.
Taiheiyo Masters goes all the way back to 1977. Names you'll recognize: Lee Westwood, Darren Clark, Toshi Izawa, the great Sevi, Jose Maria Olazabal, Graham Marsh. I know how much you admired him growing up. Greg Norman, and there is Hideki, winner here at Taiheiyo Club Gotemba.
Rain has abated. Lovely to hear from the great Tommy Nakajima. Completed in the Masters 11 times. His first was back in 1978. He takes great pleasure in the development of the game in his home country. Now across to 13. Par 3 plays a little downhill. So this one looks like it's going a little left. No, actually, not too bad on line. Did not get all of it.
I didn't need to hold it off.
So 12, the left rough. Liar's not too bad for the defending champion, but 3 over, currently 8 back. It's a better shot, but it is on the lower tier. It's been a struggle. It was a great year for him last year, getting to play in 2 major championships. Strike was good. Certainly the lie helped. Good balance. Technically, so many good swings in this championship.
Seeing some blue skies now, and this is Wen Yi Ding. A couple of good, tough pars the first 2 holes.
Just a wedge left from 132. Hole location on a top shelf, so got to be careful with your spin here.
Okay. So really enjoyed that interview with Tommy Nakajima with Amanda. We watch a young Japanese player, Rentaro Nakano.
That's the worst lie I've seen this week. It's coming out knuckling.
Oh, did well. It's on the right level.
Nakajima, good player for a long time. In fact, he won the Taiheiyo Masters here at Gotemba 2002 and 2006. He is turning 70 later this month.
Kind of really had to dig down. That ball lays low in the Zoysia.
Par 5, third. This is Taishi Moto, his 4th shot.
Remember, he dropped a shot at the previous hole. Once again, using a lot of loft from the edge, but this one is much better.
He'll save. Hang Sapak, Lau Pak Di. Birdie putt here, 13th.
Yeah, these greens are a little bit slower today. Rich, he's going to have to give this a little bit of a rip up here. Goes uphill. Beautiful conditions, but out here now. Perfect playing conditions.
19 years old, 74 to open in his 3rd Asia Pacific Amateur. He did tie for 5th back in his homeland 2 years ago.
At Amada Springs. Now back to 12.
By Japanese golf, I always loved as a kid watching Asawa Aoki, particularly his putting with the toe in the air, the old bullseye. Pushed Jack Nicklaus to the limit, the 1980 U.S. Open at Baltusrol, and became the first Japanese player to win on the PGA Tour. Hawaii in 1983, famously holding a wedge on the final hole.
And when he went back to Japan, that wedge, it was sold out within a month.
Is that right?
Everybody wanted a replica of an Aoki wedge.
Ken Chow to get it to 3 under.
Yeah, once again, another slow putt up here, moving right to left up this hill for sure. Just had the privilege of standing next to the great man, Tommy Nakajima, and I can tell you that there's other Japanese people out here, and he was so polite to everyone.
Frank, did you ever play with Jumbo Ozaki?
I did, several times. I actually played on a President's Cup team with Jumbo in 1996. So Jumbo is a great lover of wine, I must say.
Prolific winner here in Japan.
This one from about 30 feet uphill to start, then starts to work away from him. pretty flat up on this top section.
Turn for home.
That was a good putting stroke. Yeah, there's very little rotation.
You like that grip, Frank? The hands kind of working as one unit.
It's a nice soft grip. See, there's not a lot of hand action. Good sense of speed. Trying to hit that ball exactly in the equator. The ball will actually skid a little while. You can see with a lot of the putting development now, if you can reduce some of the skid, certainly could have gone in for the same price. Now, Stubbs, for a much needed birdie.
Yeah, he could definitely use one of these. Coming up the hill pretty slow. Oh, it's much better tempo in that stroke.
So it's par for the defending champ. This is Braden Lee from Singapore. Birdie putt at the 14th. It's a great roll. Little fist pump. 2-1 over par. Certainly not out of the championship. Wenyi Ding
was not too happy with that wedge shot, spinning it down the hill, but still a chance for a 3.
Never on line.
All pars to start for Wenyi Ding. Won the USGA Junior Amateur 2022 at Bandon Dunes in Oregon. First from China to win a USGA event. All-America at Arizona State. And along with Nakano making their way to the next hole. Golf course designed 1977, Shinsuke Kato, and then renovated 6 years ago by Reese Jones. Hideki Matsuyama, the consultant on that project. Frank, just generally, what do you think of the Taiheiyo Club?
It's excellent. You know, one of 18 courses, as you can see, that they own, but this is really their jewel. Amazing green staff here too. You can see that despite we have 4 inches of rain, you have golfing conditions that you would have zero idea that this was sort of completely underwater several hours ago. But you know, we referenced it yesterday. It's like playing inside a botanical garden with just the beautiful vistas around. And speaking of beautiful vistas, this is a beautiful little par 3 down here. Tree short right, not really in play, obviously, for these players. 176 yards today, and they've just pushed the flag a little bit to the right side of this green. Good iron players should get rewarded here. Do not want to go long. And a little bit of a backstop on that left side. Right now, too, you know, Colt, virtually no breeze out there, maybe just a touch from the right side.
Yeah, a little bit off the right and in their face, Frank, but playing 176 today. You do have some room behind it and right of it, so they can be aggressive here.
While we wait, over to the 4th. Taishimoto.
Another par 3. It's being shortened up because of the conditions. It's nearly 40 yards shorter than what it played yesterday. Poor shot, really.
And we're back at the 13th now. This is Wenyi Ding.
At 176, playing a little bit over 180, so I would imagine this is a good full 7-iron. That was proper audio there, Frank.
Did you see those eyes going up and down? That was right on line. Shot from Ding.
How's that for a backdrop, Frank? So where this game can take you.
Nakano, he's not only a heck of a player, Rich, but a really good student. Goes to the prestigious West Haida University. Frank, I've heard it's #2 in the country.
Wow.
He didn't learn anything from Ding there.
No. I know his coach, Gareth Jones, was saying he's working very hard on his English. It's short.
And at 14, this is Ken Chow.
Yeah, this playing back into the breeze. This green sits at you from back to front, to right to left, and the mistake is definitely left, but this one's headed a little bit right. He's a good ball striker, this kid.
Didn't like it, but not too bad. Back at the 4th. Taishi Moto.
Everything funnels down to the front of this green. Some polite applause, because there's a lot of work to be done to try and get away from here with 3.
And Jasper Stubbs.
Also going with 7-iron. This one headed towards the center of the green. Frank, he just needs to find something and try to make this cut.
He's worried about the right miss, isn't it? He seems sort of overcorrect every now and again. Right one's the one that's costing him.
Back to Moto. This is to save his par. It's a good save. Superb start to this championship for the home 10, Japan. And enjoyed every moment of it over here. Culinary delights, and the golf was just as tasty. Day 2 of the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship in Mount Fuji. Ever present here. Fog settled in this morning over Taiheiyo Club Gotemba with some heavy rains overnight. Even if you're not playing, it can take you away just to turn and stare at the magnificent mountain. This out at the 12th hole. This is Quinton Croker of Australia. What a shot. Stuffs it in there. Greens soft. We had more than 3.5 inches of rain overnight. You see the staff did a marvelous job preparing this golf course. Fukuzumi for eagle. Hammered that one. But he is right in the championship. Shu Fukuzumi. 3 under. The lead's at 5. Randy Bintang of Indonesia still waiting to tee off in this second round, which has been delayed by more than 6 hours. 60 miles southwest of Tokyo. Gorgeous, rugged terrain here. Beautiful country, Japan. 15th playing of the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, second time back in Japan. Well, for more information, championship video and live stats, go to aacgolf.com. Outstanding content team with feature stories. There's live scoring as well. Great way to follow the championship. Be introduced to some new faces. We take you out now to 13. Here is a Rentaro Nakano. Only one back.
This one should be no problem here. A lot of green to work with. Going to move to his left once it gets on the putting surface.
Oh, wow, what a shot. Tied for the lead. You can see that intensity that his coach talks about, Garrett Jones. Boy, this was just beautiful. Frank?
Just ran like a putt. And of course, that'll invigorate the crowd as well. Nice little fist bump.
Getting the white glove treatment.
Very good.
Jasper Stubbs could use this. He's at 3 over.
He's looking out to the left, but I don't see a lot of break in this one. Yeah, this one's not going to move.
Back to Ken Chow. This to get to 3 under. He's at the 14th hole.
Should turn a little left as it slows down. Kept going now. Back to 13. Ding after that excellent tee shot.
Made some good par putts so far. This to get to 4 under.
12 feet up the hill, going to move to his left. Very makeable.
Wow, he is rolling his rock. Wen Yi Ding. A couple of sizable par putts. First 2 holes, and now for birdie. And Wen Yi Ding is within 1. Right where we thought he'd be, Frank.
It's the patience, Rich. Talked about that sort of start. Could have easily been 2 over after 2. Slowly picks away. And the course starts to open up here, too. It's going to get plenty of opportunities for Dad to celebrate a little more before the end of the day.
Dad was fist pumping last year, Royal Melbourne, especially when his son made that huge putt, birdie putt, to match Jasper Stubbs on the first extra playoff hole and lost on the second additional hole. This is Laupati for his birdie.
Yeah, beautiful shot in here, Rich, but this thing moves hard left to right. Slippery around this hole.
Not done yet. Past champions. First was Han Chang-won from Korea 2009. Then Hideki back-to-back. Frank, you were on the call and have been on ever since when Wan Tianlong won, and then at 14 played the Masters.
Yeah, Hideki actually remained an amateur to try and win this championship 3 times in a row. Curtis Luck, that was at Incheon in South Korea when Curtis was the reigning U.S. amateur champion and #1 amateur in the world. Yu Shin-lin, the left-hander, very talented player from China. And of course, world #1 Takumi Kanaya, then Keita Nakajima. It's been a very good list of champions. Ding would love to be on that list.
Tee shot back into the wind. That left bunker shouldn't be a problem. But this one is headed a little left.
Soft fairways help.
Frank Wan Tianlong got to play in the Masters, but then later that year got to play with me in New Orleans. What do you think was the highlight?
We'll have one more look at the swing first. Just gets a little bit up on the toes. You see a lot of the modern players there. So they try and hit up on the tee shot. Get the launch conditions, reduce a little bit of the spin. Yeah, I'm sure New Orleans would have been a big thrill for him with you, Colt.
We had a wonderful time out there. Ooh, he flighted this one down a little bit for him. This is beautiful.
Excellent tee shot.
Wan Tianlong turned professional 2020. Been playing that PGA Tour Series in China and then the China Tour. Jasper Stubbs 3 over, trying to get it in gear.
This is where he turned it around yesterday. Made birdie here and 15. This one drawing up the left side, going to be close to the fairway.
Frankie doesn't quite have control of his golf ball.
No, I fear that one did not come out of the middle either. Straight away par 4, 14, 2 bunkers to be avoided. Really about the second shot. Nice flat plateau. Get a wedge in your hand, very scoreable hole. But there is a little ridge in this green. I like the bunkering here at the Taiheiyo Golf Course. Shrink some of the fairways from about 50 yards to 25. Deep green, but a little bit of a ridge. And today they put the flag, for obvious reasons, on a high spot because of the soft conditions. Do not go left today. Tricky little chip from that left side.
Suddenly looking really nice here outside of Tokyo. Two-way tie atop the leaderboard. Day 2 of the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship.
Six-and-a-half-hour rain delay this morning. We've had nearly 2 hours of play. The sun has come out. And the highest ranked player in the field, Wen Yi Ding, fresh off that birdie at the par 3 13th, has now pulled within 1 of the 2 at the top. Randy Binting will have to wait until he tees off this afternoon. 40 countries and territories competing this year, 120 players. The best in the area, the home nation, Japan, has the lion's share of 10 players. Australia, once again, a strong contingent. Thailand with 7. Some people might find a little surprising. The golf is certainly developing that area. China, strong team yet again, as is Chinese Taipei. Indonesia, Randy Binting, that's where he hails from. And Randy will turn 21 next week. But at the moment, he's tied with Nakano. Now, back to 13, the Australian, Croker. Another good shot. Struggled a little yesterday, fought well, hit it out of bounds at the 18th hole. Led to a double bogey 7. This 14th hole, not over long, just over 400 yards. Really a second shot course. Surprisingly, just the 1 birdie so far. And that was Braden Lee.
Well, after a rainy night, a foggy morning, the sun is out and players are getting after it here. Taiheiyo Club Gotemba. This is Rentaro Nakano tied for the lead with Randy Bintang after a sensational shot on the previous hole. Colt Knost is down there. Colt much better in terms of the conditions. Couple of clubs here, Colt, just trying to get it all right.
Yeah, he has 133 left, back into the wind. I think with this hurting wind, Frank, he's got to throw this in behind the hole and use some of that slope to feed it towards the hole location.
You don't have to go directly at this flag either, Colt. 15 feet right would be a good line.
Yeah, there's a big fall off just left of the screen.
Starts it through the middle.
This one is way right. That is not a very good shot from there.
Yeah, very defensive. Poor shot.
Don't lean on that short game yet again. Back to the 11th. Oh, yeah, the young man is playing some college golf at SMU, previously Nevada. Demayuga from the Philippines. Ooh, sneaks it in, Enrique de Mayuga. Won 3 times playing college golf at Nevada before transferring to SMU. He can go. Jasper Stubbs.
Coming from the first cut, 128 left. Looks like it could come out a little hot. Oh, and that's exactly what this has done. This one needs to sit down.
Uncomfortable spot right there. Been fighting it for 2 days. And we're with Wen Yiding.
Just 124. Ball quite a bit below his feet here. Got to really stay in your posture. He's got this going at the center of the green. Caught a little bit of a gust there.
Still chance to tie.
And Ken Chow at the 15th.
He's a long one down here. He's only got 93 to this pin, which is a green-like pin. This green's soft. Sort of floated this one a little bit. It needs to go.
So short shot, still misses the putting surface.
Quentin Croker now at 13.
It's got the speed.
Yes.
And back to red figures for the Australian.
Back-to-back birdies after the bogey. Japanese greatness on the amateur level. Well, at Dubai Creek Golf and Yacht Club, it was Keita Nakajima becoming the 3rd player from Japan to win the AAC after Takumi Kanaya and Hideki Matsuyama, who won it back-to-back. He defeated a number of good players, and we are going back to Dubai for the 2025 Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. Shadow of magnificent skyline in Dubai. Weather always good. Dignitaries coming together for that announcement on the far right. You see Pat Battle, Augusta National and Masters Tournament Chairman Fred Ridley. On the left, Ian Pattinson and Neil Farquharson of the R&A. Nakajima has gone on to do some really good things, Frank, at the professional level. He won on the DP World Tour, the Hero Indian Open. He was #1 in the World Amateur Golf Rankings for 87 weeks.
Yeah, it's no surprise to see him already win at the professional level. Another player you want to watch. Now Nakano, tricky little chip because of the lie. I'm not sure if has that got a little bit of mud on it?
It does have a little bit on it, Frank, and the ball is well above his feet, but plenty of green to work with, so I think he can handle this one. But he was extremely disappointed with that wedge shot.
Wants it to get down.
Good news is he'll be putting back uphill from there.
Taishi Moto here at the 5th. This to get to 4 under, long ways.
Should have a little turn to his left. Just struggling with the pace of the greens. Now it's soft conditions. Got to try and get a few more approach shots inside that sort of 15 feet circle. Speaking of 15, that's where we go.
Ken Chow.
These are the chips you look at and you think, I can hold this one for sure. Nice, beautiful conditions into it. Interestingly enough, that his big sister Wendy is on the bag this week. She just graduated from college. She's come out to help her little brother who wants to be a professional someday. She's an academic, doesn't want to be a golf professional, but this is a great opportunity.
Boilermakers.
Rough or fairway.
Play some golf in the Big Ten.
Take a preferred lie drop within a club length. Fairway? Okay, I was just making sure that's not in the rough. Okay. No closer? Yep.
Yep. On club length. If you want to come in, you can.
gets a break here because it is lift clean in place, Frank.
He was doing the right thing there, just making sure that part of the ball is touching the mown fringe and not the rough.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Collection of rules officials from the RNA as well as from the region. We have our first ever rules official in the championship, actually from Mongolia this year.
This tournament not simply about opening up pathways for these elite amateurs, Frank, but teaching the highest standards of the game to officials around the world.
This is going to be one of the faster putts out here. Pretty much straight downhill from right here on. Probably didn't think he could leave that one short.
See that ball just squeezed it into the turf, so it didn't quite get the roll he wanted to. Came out a little to the right.
Played the Masters and the Open by virtue of winning the Asia Pacific Amateur. Jasper Stubbs, Wenyi Ding now for birdie to tie the lead.
Made a really nice putt for birdie at the last. See if he can make it 2 in a row.
Not quite.
He was right on line. So he settled in nicely. He's got a feel for the conditions.
23 players in this field are in red figures at this point in time. Leads at 5 under. 1 over was the winning score a year ago at Royal Melbourne.
And Rich, Ding's gotten better every time he's played this championship, but this year only 1 place to go.
Safe par. This is Nakano. Stay tied for the lead. Of course, second shot cost Rentaro Nakano, and once again it is Randy Bintang in solo lead.
His first bogey of the week.
So chance Bintang will not be able to tee off. Again, we had a 6.5-hour delay because of the overnight rains and then the heavy fog.
Yeah, he was originally slated to play at 11:51. Daylight runs out at 5:30 local time.
It's an important par putt for Jasper Stubbs.
And not the easiest. Downhill, going to move to his right. Boy, Frank, like the Pacific Ocean, his confidence is shrinking.
Big Wenyi Ding is right in the thick of it. Colt telling us that one way to go, but up. He's continuing to play well at this championship, and really everywhere he goes around the world. More now on Wenyi Ding.
I think I prepared a lot for this tournament. Just try to be better than last year. My only goal. Last year, I got a chance to chase them, the lead players. I do really well on back nine, and I got birdie on first playoff. It was good. The ASC make me feel I still can do better, because before that I did it really bad. I can't find myself. So after that, I feel good. I got second place. I play in Hainan next week. I got top 3. And then I played the Volvo China Open. I was leading after 3 rounds. Made me have more confidence. Because it's only for Asia Pacific players feel more comfortable. And we can chat really well because we have more topics. It's the best player in Asia Pacific and my favorite one.
Yeah, a lot of youngsters feel that way. It is their favorite championship. Understandably. Now, live at the 15th, Wen Yi Ding.
Going with 3-wood, 260 covers the bunker down the right.
Nice.
This one starts up the left center, should be good. Fairway kicks hard right.
Also part of the R&A's pathway program that has in recent months been created. The same way PGA Tour University in the United States, allowing players to graduate to the PGA Tour, to have access to the DP World Tour. These international amateurs building ladders to success, Masters Tournament, the governing bodies. Now Nakano after the drop shot.
Different strategy than yesterday, going with his 2-iron. Missed it way right here yesterday, but this one is beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of different options down here with that fairway bunker down the right side. Take it out of play like Nakano just did. Challenge it with a 3-wood or perhaps even hit driver past it. And talk that might even be drivable come the weekend. It's amazing what one bunker in the right place will do. That's why the decision has to be made. Short, fast, or in the narrow area. From there, though, just sets up a basic wedge shot. It is an undulating green. Fairly soft flag in that front third today. So, a good chance there for Ding. He's in ideal position. But
Jasper Stubbs,
he's struggling.
He's going with his 5-wood here, just trying to keep it short of that bunker. This is a much better golf swing here.
It's all part of the process, though, Frank, isn't it? Learning how to get the most out of a round when you just don't really have it. Nakano, eyes on the big prize here in Japan, the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship.
Leading group heads their way down the only par 4 here at Taiheiyo Club that is under 400 yards. Australia powerhouse in this event. Yes, we'll be trying to be the first Australian to defend his title and their 5th champion should it go on. Hideki Matsuyama, the only back-to-back champion in this very short 15-year history. Stubbs had to come from behind last year at Royal Melbourne. Might have to do the same this year. Now to 14. Croker was in trouble. This now his 4th shot from the drop zone. A good shot, so perhaps just drop a solitary shot for one of the 7 Australians in the field this year. Now Tony Chen here at 16, a chance to get, oh, just misses on the left side. Goes to Carl Berkeley. A lot of the players going to college in America, one of the pathways to develop their golf. And his roommate, actually, is Sampson, who had the lead going into that final round last year, was one of the 3-men playoff. So we wish him the best. But Australia, just the one player at the moment in red numbers.
Back with our featured group. This is day 2 of the 15th edition of the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. Defending champion. Here he is, Jasper Stubbs of Australia. Has not had his best stuff. Is still focused and fighting to make the cut. Low 60 and ties.
There is no quitting this man. He's going to give it everything he's got. try to make sure he plays the weekend, and this is a golden opportunity here. Just 130 and a pretty easy hole location. This one tugged left.
Struggling to see how the distance with the ball off the Zorja grass. It's getting different types of spin. Now Nakano.
Just 109 left, coming off a downslope. And his father just showed up to watch his son play a little golf this afternoon.
Rentaro Nakano and Taiheiyo, both students at the Jumbo Ozaki Golf Academy. Learned a lot from the World Golf Hall of Fame member. Nakano saying Jumbo's taught him more about the mental side than the technical aspects.
That just a sand wedge on the way. This one looks deep. Way deep.
A couple of miscues, Frank, with his approach shots.
Yeah, from short range. But Ding is in perfect position here. See if he can hit one in close.
Yeah, Frank, I expected these guys to just pepper this front right hole location here with just wedges in. Ding has 82 yards left, straight downwind.
One hop and stop, try and hit it stone cold.
This one looks good.
Oh, it's got some spin. Good shot from Ding.
He is looking every bit the part of the highest ranked player in the field. Good chance right there to tie for the lead. There is the defending champ Jasper Stubbs. And yesterday we told you about his Masters tournament experience. Played with Corey Connors and the 2007 champion Zach Johnson. He also had an unforgettable experience at the Open Championship.
Hails from Melbourne in Australia, one of 12 amateurs in the field this year, and earned his spot by winning the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship at Royal Melbourne in October.
It's pretty easy to step up there and think about where the ball could go. You've got to think about where you want it to go, and I think on that first tee shot I was thinking a little bit too much about where it might end up.
Never want to hear that on the first tee. Provisional #1 for Mr. Stubbs from Australia.
You just got to tell yourself not to be scared and then commit to the shot.
Putt here for Stubbs, the amateur. Well, that's a good line. No. Oh, good morning world. Jasper Stubbs.
Probably the birdie on the last there, that was a pretty nice way to finish off the week altogether. The differences from amateur golf to here is the spectators, they're awesome. I love playing in front of a crowd and feeling the energy off them, and they've been pretty similar between the Masters and the Open. Obviously, the crowd was barracking for Rosie a bit today in my group.
Can he possibly finish off this wonderful day?
There is a chance, Dom.
Oh, he can!
I said to my caddy walking up on the 18th that I knew that putt was going to go in before he'd hit it. He was a great guy, gave me some good information, but I mean, he left most of that for off the course because no one wants to give you the competitive edge. So that's the ultimate goal, to feel comfortable playing with the world's best. And I think the more and more I'm able to do it, the closer I'm getting to feeling comfortable. I've never stood on the first tee at either of the Masters or the Open and felt like I'm at a level above where I'm meant to be, so it's a pretty nice feeling. I just need to get some more of that competitive practice under my belt, and I think I'll come a long way.
Just like that.
Yeah, he was 21 years old. He hit the opening tee shot on Thursday at Royal Melbourne, and the final putt. +1 was the winning score. Difficult, fiery, and fast. One of the greatest golf courses in the world. Won on that second playoff hole with just an all-world lag putt.
Yeah, and I love Sam Torrance's line. for Jasper. Good morning, world.
Yes.
Just 21 years of age. Now, at 15.
Longer birdie putt than he would have liked.
Yeah, that was not a very good wedge shot, but you can make up for it with a great putt.
Chance. Oh, yes. Rentaro Nakano. Hold the long
Looked
chip
like a 3
shot
the whole way.
Now the putt, and he is back at 5 under and tied for the lead. The birdie sandwiched around that bogey.
One more look. I mean, this goes up the hill. Just talked about his putting stroke earlier, Rich, and it's very square. Excellent. Once again, white glove service, especially after a putt of that length.
Her facial expression is priceless. Now Jasper Stubbs playing alongside Justin Rose. Remember what Rosie did at the Open as an amateur at Birkdale 1998. I don't think the players ever exited the amateur stage with quite as much flair. Hole out in the final hole. Finished 4th that year with Mark O'Meara winning. And now, Donawin Lee from Thailand.
Just 18 years of age. Playing in this championship for the 2nd time. Here's another one with great pedigree. Well, I see shots like that. He won the Thailand Amateur Open. His last 2 rounds, 66-66.
Ding to tie for the lead.
Great look here from 7 feet. Not much in it.
Made putts of that length for par in the first 2 holes of the day. A bit disappointed there, but only 1 back. Lau Patki, also from Thailand.
Beautiful shot in here, Rich. It was absolutely gorgeous with a long iron. This is a straight looking putt down here for another birdie. A goalkeeper in there for him. He's hit some really good shots today, but not been able to execute.
Now Enrique Dimayuga. This for birdies at 1 under par.
Slow putt from the front. It's half a backswing there. Good lag. These creeping bent grass greens. With the weather just running a little under 11. So a little slow.
After that long birdie putt, here is Nakano, 16th hole, tied for the lead.
I mentioned earlier he swings at around 120, Frank. I think his practice swings around 130.
Well, if he's got that speed, he's got to be careful of the bunker in the middle. It's 320 to that, so he can reach it.
This one is headed right towards it.
Doesn't need it to run. Soft fairway certainly out. This beautiful par 4, slight dog leg right.
See, just a hint of Tommy Nakajima here. You remember, Frank, Tommy Nakajima, whom Amanda interviewed not long ago, used to wear his cap just a little askew, just a little sideways.
Yeah, if you put the glasses on Nakano, it would be very, very similar. Tommy had great rhythm, too. Now, ding.
I want to favor the left side here. Big tree down the right. And with this hurting wind, I'm not sure they can get past it.
Nice.
They like this one. Frank, we've all been there. We felt lost with the golf swing on the golf course. What do you do to try to turn this thing around?
I know it's easy to say basics, but first of all, for Jasper. They've got to start coming out of the middle of the club. He's already hit a number of tee shots that have come out of the toe.
This one is a big miss to the right. That was wiped.
But it's almost different speeds with them today. You see a slower swing and then a quicker swing. So all adds up to timing. But I must say, this is my favorite hole on the golf course. Lengthy par 4. Opens up, bends to the right. That's the tree that Colt was referring to, 290 yards. Very much of a feature there, so they have to respect that, keep the ball left of it. So there's a catchment bunker, extremely left, and the one down the fairway restricts the distance. So the tee shot not only has to be straight, it has to be the right distance. Then the green opens up. It's almost like an upside down L. It's deep, but that left side certainly comes into play. Beautiful par 4.
What a way to honor the legacy of Bobby Jones, the greatest amateur of all time, planting seeds around the world. Watch him grow in the shadow of Mount Fuji. There are big things happening here in Japan.
Halfway through the second round of the morning wave here in round 2. 15th playing of the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. One of Japan's premier clubs. It's 2,349 golf courses in Japan. And according to the RNA Global Participation Studies last year, 8.1 million people in this country play the great game. And of course, one of them is Moto, one of the 10 contingent from Japan, to get to 4 under. Watched him on the range yesterday, just pressed, went about his business. Just 2 par 5s here, 18 and the 3rd. Fukuzumi. Does he have the power to reach? Uphill second shot. Has a lash at it. Might keep climbing over there, that's for sure. Needs a bit of a break. Now across Quinton Croker, short 15th. That's a big drive. Came just short of the green here, so one of the few to hit driver down here. And an excellent pitch.
Into the second round now of the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. Taiheiyo Club Gotemba, 60 miles southwest of Tokyo. Skies have cleared. Beautiful day for golf because of the heavy rains overnight. They are playing lift, clean, and place. Here is one of the co-leaders, Rentaro Nakano of Japan. Looks like Jasper Stubbs first to play. Frank?
Yeah, a little bit of tree trouble as well. Colt, I don't know if he can get over those.
Well, he's got to hoist it straight up in the air. Has 170 left. And I think the good news with this shot is, Frank, there'll be no swing thoughts. This is just pure athleticism trying to smash it over the top of these trees.
He's definitely looking up.
That's really the only option he has unless he wants to just pitch it out sideways. He's only got 141 to the front, which I think is doable.
Yeah, this hole 460 yards today. No roll. Yeah, definitely looking up, so.
Went right over the top of him. This is a heck of a golf shot right here.
Now, can't fault him for coming up a club shy. Had to just hammer that.
Now, Frank, you know it is one of the feel-good days in the sport. It is the Sunday before the Masters. Drive, chip, and putt. And for more information on this exciting youthful initiative, Drive, Chip, and Putt Championship, go to drivechipandputt.com. Kids 7 to 15 competing at Augusta National. Nakano hoping to be there.
After a perfect drive, that from 165, but once again, he's hung this one right.
Well, doesn't have to chip, but will putt from there.
See anything, Frank, with those shorter shots?
No, I think he's just trying to be comfortable finding his name on the top of the leaderboard. There's a lot of pressure on the local players. But he played good yesterday, and every time he looks at the leaderboard right now, he sees his name tied with Randy Bintang, who might not play today because of the delayed opening.
Doesn't have to look too far, Frank, to see the favorite. It's this guy, Wenyi Ding.
5 yards closer. This 160 back into a little wind. That's 8-iron on the way. Starts left of it, now fading towards it.
Yeah, excellent shot. How do you like that swing, Frank?
I like the rhythm of the swing. It's got a big frame, doesn't try and pound the ball too much. And if anything, today we're seeing him play almost three-quarter style shots. Given the wet conditions, he's not just giving it the full larrup. So he's hit a lot more shots the right distance than just about anybody we've seen so far. So here's a good indication of how far the ball is flying through these conditions. We are at elevation, 1,500 feet.
So we've had 3 players win 4 Asia Pacific Amateur Championships. You were first on the call, Wan Tianlong in 2012. And Yushin Lin, left-hander, played at the University of Florida, won it twice.
Yes, and it's 5 years now, actually, since the last Chinese player has won. Yushin Lin winning his second there, which is quite surprising considering they're a strong golfing nation now. So maybe Ding can break that drought.
You see the players from China, just 2 of 6 are in red figures. So Fukuzumi now at 3. This his 3rd shot. So he'll have a chance to lift the big prize. You just saw China 4 wins. The Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, Japan with 4, Australia with 4, including 2 in a row, South Korea with 2. This is the 15th playing, with invitations to the Masters and spot the Open Championship at Royal Portrush on the line. And as well, the Amateur Championship going to Royal St. George's in 2025. Let's bring in Colt. Just to Colt, overall impressions. You've been out there now for a little more than an hour and a half.
I would say the scoring conditions are pretty good. Obviously, the golf course is playing much longer with that 4 inches of rain, but still very gettable. The hole locations I don't think are too difficult, and I think that's why we're seeing these 2 top players playing so well. But this is a roller coaster of a putt for Jasper Stubbs, some 65 feet. Going to move really hard to its left when it gets about 15 feet from the hole location.
And very slow in the middle of this putt.
I would say anything right around 5 feet would be really good from here, Frank.
Good run.
Or just go ahead and try to make it from there.
This putt he's hit for quite a while. Rolled nicely. But he needs birdies at the moment. Try and close the gap. playing with two of the best in the field. And Nakano has a chance to get the outright lead. It's going to take a good 35 feet.
And Frank, it's been a long day for these guys right here. Obviously had the really long rain delay. Who are your go-to guys to find during a rain delay to sit with and share stories with?
You, Cole, really. You're good for a yarn, a story. You could make a few up. Pass the time.
Yeah, that's what I do. Downhill to start, now works back up the hill.
Still a little bit of stress left.
Yeah. Fukuzumi struggling here at this par 5.
Still not done. One of the easiest holes on the golf course.
And now Wenyi Ding mentioned Arizona State. 33 players in this field playing college golf, 26 different schools in the United States. Some fertile ground over here in Asia, Frank.
Cole, Dad was very invested in reading that putt.
He reads every putt. He lives and dies by every shot out here with his son. See if he can pay off that beautiful 8-iron.
Beautiful putt.
He did. Tied for the lead. A steady climb over the last 2 days. Remember, he was one over his opening 9. Highest ranked player in this field, number 5 in those World Amateur Golf rankings. Putted well, Frank.
Did this track so nicely. Not much break at all, maybe right center. The ball never deviated.
Just wait until we get deep into the championship.
Now back at the par 5 third. Fukuzumi desperately needs this. Poor putt. You talked about Aoki. That's how Aoki putted, toe up in the air, heel down.
Aoki had touch, didn't he?
Certainly did.
That wristy swing, too. Picked the club sort of straight up.
Yeah, very handsy player. Don't see a lot of that now. Now back at 16. A little bit of homework left. So 3 tied at the top now.
And there's another great Grow the Game initiative in the amateur ranks. It's the Latin America Amateur Championship, celebrating its 10th anniversary in Argentina. Just a few short months. We're going back to Pilar Golf Club, host site of the inaugural event 2015. Just a great venue outside Buenos Aires. Always think about Roberto Di Vincenzo won the 67 Open, so close. The Masters in 68. Martin Slumbers of the RNA, who will be moving on as of December. We enjoyed chatting with Martin yesterday right here in the booth. Fred Perpall, Mike Wan of the USGA, Lee Steisler, Chairman Ridley of Augusta National there for that announcement. So 15th anniversary here, 10 in Latin America. Think about players that have come out of that region more recently. Joaquin Niemann won on the PGA Tour. This past winner of the Latin Am back in his home country of Chile.
Series of tee boxes here at 17. Pushed it a couple of teeth forward. Can play as long as 230 yards, just 163 yards today off the forward tee.
This is a tricky par 3 here, though. Massive trees on both sides. The tee box really makes the wind swirl here. Watching guys in the practice round, they just could not figure it out. Right now, it feels like it's mostly in their face, Frank, but judging off the last hole, it should be mostly right to left.
Enrique de Mayuga just to get 2 under. Mentioned he went to SMU. Great SMU collegiate golfers. Man who's watching play right here. Colton Ost.
That feels like a long time ago, Rich. Wind's moving this one towards the left half of the green, but should be safely aboard.
Yeah, Frank, you're right about that tempo. Just nice and easy.
Yeah, he's been the player that's kept his distance control has been certainly the best out of this group, that's for sure. So consequently, he's getting more opportunities for birdie.
Nakano.
Has missed a couple of short irons out to the right, and you do not want to do that here at 17. Deep bunker over there, just right of this whole location. This one starts at the right side of the green, needs to draw. It's trying.
No, it's fine. Good shot.
And Frank, talking about trying to find your golf swing, the great instructor Randy Smith always told me, let the shot create the golf swing. When you're struggling, go out there, try to hit shots, because these guys are so good. If you try to hit a fade, you're most likely not going to hit a hook. That was his best swing of the day there, just a little left of it.
Hand came off quickly, but at least an outside chance for a 2. Yeah, Randy Smith done a marvelous job with the world #1, Scotty Scheffler.
Wen Yi-ding hasn't shown us a whole lot of motion. Certainly great golf. It's the dad that has been letting us know how it's going out there. And it's going very well. His kid, he's tied for the lead. Come on.
No, it might be October, but for the Ding family, it's Father's Day. Doing the reading, and Winnie doing the putting. Good duo. Very proud father. He's given his son an opportunity to be the best player he can be. College in America. He's a fine talent. And showing his skills in Japan. Second time. This championship has been the land of the rising sun. I think he'll have a putt to get to 6 under. The rest might just have to look out if he starts to find that next gear. Seems to have adjusted to the conditions. Not much wind right now. Really hard to judge the forecast with the mountain. There's always potential for fog in the area. Just an amazing initiative. In a decade and a half, how many superb players have developed from this region now? And in this region too, golf has become the language.
We're at the 17th hole now. This is the 8th of the day for this featured group. And we have co-leaders playing right in front of us. Gentleman in the white shirt, Wen Yi Ding, and man, right here, that is Rentaro Nakano of the home country, Japan. Randy Bintang is leading, but we haven't seen him, and unlikely that we will today because of the 6.5 hour delay this morning. Heavy overnight rains, almost 4 inches, and then the thick fog that just wouldn't move here at Gotemba. Bintang from Indonesia, and now the defending champion trying to find something, some spark. Jasper Stubbs.
Just really hasn't had a good look at birdie all day. And just trying to get out of most holes, lag putting for a par.
A few feet left. Picture of frustration through the first couple days. Try to claw his way back to 2 over, 1 over par. Small steps.
Conditions appear easy, Rich. You know, you would think they'd be shooting lights out, dartboard style golf, but the biggest issue right now is controlling the distance of the iron shots. You're seeing now with the Asper struggling to get the ball inside 30 feet. And this is where you have to hit the reset button and go, well, from here on, this group has 2 par 5s. The only 2 par 5s to play, 18 and then the 3rd hole. So there's a chance to turn the round around for someone like Stubbs. And there's a huge chance for someone like Ding or Nakano to stretch a lead.
And Frank, just to add to that, I would say one of the reasons we're maybe not seeing as low a scores as we thought is, I know they're young, but it's been a really long day for these guys. Most of these guys got to the golf course around 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning.
That's a good point, Colt. So that'll be a tap for Wen Yi Ding to stay at 5 under. Clean card, 2 birdies.
He's surprised that went left. You know, you can't sort of mark your yardage books like you used to and put the lines in. The R&A are keeping an eye on that. So it's a little bit more old school the way greens are read right now, Colt. You don't have the same lines and the grid marks that we had sort of some 3 or 4 seasons ago.
I love it because I think green reading is a skill. Some people are better at it than others, and I love that they're making that change.
This for the lead. Outright lead.
Good effort.
Just off the left edge. There is Tommy Nakajima.
He's just got a presence about him. You can feel like you're in the presence of greatness when he's out here watching.
It's a swagger, Colt. He's got a swagger. 48 wins.
Yeah, Frank, you played with another fine Japanese player at the President's Cup, 1998, that winning team in Australia, Shigeki Maruyama.
Yeah, he went 5-0. He was also, as we watched Jasper Stubbs, from a motivational point of view too. He was helped motivate the team.
Kept you guys loose.
Yep, he would sing karaoke on the bus. Good voice.
Okay.
Ball hole by Stubbs.
What golf really received a huge boost here in Japan when Keiichi Nakamura and Koichi Ono won the 1957 World Cup. As we watch Wen Yi Ding clean this up. Nakamura and Ono here in Japan beat the legendary duo Sam Snead and Jimmy Demerit by 9. And Nakamura won the individual competition by 7 shots over Gary Player. And that really sparked golf in Japan. Second at the par 5 18th, Lau Pakti from Thailand.
Yeah, Yeah, hit it a long way down here. He's got the tree to contend to. He's right this high, all the way over the. Wow!
What a shot! Yeah. A youngster from Thailand. You're gonna have a great chance to get it back to even par with that eagle putt. All right, guy flew in from Montreal, was at the President's Cup. Another win for the United States against the spirited international side. They also played the Junior President's Cup, and there is Graham Dillette from Canada was the captain of this team. But you see Josh Bai and all these countries represented. You see Warut Boonrod from Thailand, Thanawin Lee as well, An Minh Nguyen from Vietnam, Kartik Singh, excellent young player from India. Frank, they are coming in waves now, and this is a great opportunity.
It certainly is. 7 of the 12 coming from this region. Very successful. 18, slight dog leg left par 5, and is a huge opportunity. Reachable for all 3 of these players. And sadly, we see a little bit of fog coming in off the mountain.
Frank, you couldn't ask for a better win for this tee shot right here. Down off the player's right. Helps him just turn it around the corner here.
Longer players can take it over the corner of the left bunker.
Got to fly it right around 290 to get to the fairway over that bunker. Tell you what, he looks like he's in full control with that golf swing right now, Frank.
Yeah, it's striped it. It's fine. In the left rough, fine up. It's a good angle to come in from. It's just 25 yards in between the 2 bunkers that protect the left and right side of this fairway.
And Rich, I spoke to Graham Dillette after last week's Junior President's Cup. He said it's one of the highlights of his golfing career. Feels like he has 12 new kids now, and he can't wait to see how their career turns out.
Golf in this region obviously developed in countries like Japan, but not as much in Vietnam. India's coming along, though the game's been around in India for quite some time.
Have to be careful here.
Yeah, this is headed right, Frank. Just left of that bunker.
This is the hole yesterday. The Australian Quinton Croker actually hit it right, finished up out of bounds yesterday, led to a double bogey 7, derailed his round. Now back at 15.
Taiheiyo.
Lip to contend with.
Oh, what a shot this is.
Great shot.
Yeah. Philippines. And from Australia, Jasper Stubbs.
Has not found many fairways today.
Hold.
And he's going to miss another one here. This is left.
Been missing them both ways. Frank, how about a look at 18?
Yeah, it's a key hole. We've seen it in all the great championships over the years, the World Cup of Golf. Reachable par 5's always good, especially when there's water in play. You have all of that here. The 2 bunkers, we referenced 290 to carry the left bunker. Just 25 yards of fairway width between the 2. But the longer hitters, if they can take it over the left bunker, they can shrink this hole to just drive in a mid-iron. Then, well, you have to be brave enough to take on the water. There is a sandbar that comes in, so there's a potential that the ball could be playable there. Very narrow green. And over the years, we've seen 3s and 4s, and there's been the odd great player has even chipped in on this hole at pivotal times. Wonderful finishing hole. But so far, we have yet to see an eagle. There was just 1 eagle yesterday. That was at the par 5 third. Perhaps we see another one here.
Lau Pak Di. Good 3, kid. Way to go. And maybe the shot of the day so far. Second here to the 18th.
Nice run.
Terrific. 4 under par. Trying to chase down these 2 guys. Nakano from Japan, Wen Yi Ding from China, here at the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship.
Got to know Enrique Dimayuga this week. Chance for another birdie here at 15 to get to 2 under. And so starting to see some birdies and eagles. Mapukti at 18, we just saw that eagle. He's taken it out in 31. That's 4 under. That's the best round on the golf course so far out there. Enrique making his move. Just saw that tee shot of Nakano. Flared it a little bit right off the 18th tee, hoping for a break down that right side. Will be obstructed by the trees in front. There's a lot in play, but maybe the fog could be even the biggest problem. Swept in over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Certainly not like another delay of play right now. Wen Yi Ding is also going to have a little bit of tree trouble. He's looking at that left front edge of the green there. There's a little bit more room for him to deal with.
Let's bring in Colt Knost now with one of our leaders, Rentaro Nakano, here at 18.
He's found the right-hand rough off the tee here, has just 189 left. But he's got to hit it straight up in the air. But in my opinion, Frank, nobody in this field hits it higher than him.
And the flag's on 11, so what do we got? Just under 180 to the front left. That would be a good target.
I even think if he looks a little left of the green here, I don't think that left greenside bunker is too bad of a play.
Yeah, there's a good 10 yards of green to work with from that left bunker. It's got plenty of loft.
Yeah, this looks like he's just got a wedge out. He's going to lay this golf ball up.
Don't have to be a hero on a Friday.
That's going to be just fine. Leave him a sand wedge left.
Yeah, did the right thing, took everything out of play.
There's our guy right there. How about Wen Yi?
Just 171 left. Does have a little tree issue as well. And that fog is really starting to roll in now, guys. Hoisted it right over the top of him, but this is left.
Not too bad. That's a fairly flat line. The bunker on the left. Plenty of green to work with. It's actually a good shot from where he was. Left rough.
And maybe that's the break he needed to get him going. Missed all the trees. Now just has 161 left into this par 5. This one came out hot. That could be a very difficult up and down.
He's going to have to play that across the ridge, bisects the middle of this green.
And by Sunday, a chance for drama here at this par 5 18th hole. The committee here at the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship got a little creative up by the green. Hear more now on the challenge at the 18th.
Hi, we're here at Taiheiyo Club Gotemba. We're at the 18th hole. One of the key features of this golf course would be the yellow penalty area in front of the 18th green. As you can see, we have a beautiful sand bed over here, which encourages the players to play from within the yellow penalty area. We want to lower the water level a little bit, so it encourages the players to play from within the water, but we're also planning to add a little bit of sand to make a slope, so the ball just rolling off the green into the yellow penalty area will have a reasonable gap from the edge. We're trying our best to encourage the players to play from the penalty area. We've also sent out notes to the players that they have to be careful when they are approaching the ball, because if they cause the ball to move inside the penalty area, it will still be a one-shot penalty and the ball will have to be replaced.
And here we are now. Nakano, third shot.
Has 100 yards left. Does have a backstop, but it's pretty steep, so I'm not sure he wants to use it, Frank.
Took a lot off it. Still
Easy,
good spin.
easy.
That's fine. Yeah, solid shot. What do you think of what they've done up by the green?
Yeah, I talked to Jinwoo Kim, who's the leading rules official, and they just want to give them a little wet and wild, right? Bit of a challenge, and give them an opportunity, because if they punish the second shot, then nobody's going to go for it. So it gives it a little wrinkle. I like it. But you know, I played out of the water many a time. You do play it like a bunker shot. There's no two ways about it. You can play it with a square face. You've got a little bit of green to work with, but do not decelerate. That's for sure.
Think Billy Haas at East Lake all those years ago in the Tour Championship.
Yep, 17th hole. Well, when the nines were reversed. And Colt, the other thing too, the rule of thumb used to be as long as part of the ball is above the water. We're actually seeing these guys try it when it's fully submerged.
Yeah, I watched a lot of guys in the practice round hit shots out of there, and it comes out really nice. I've actually saw quite a few guys put some spin on the ball from there. A lot like Bill Haas.
Yeah, one player that's going to have to put some spin on it is Jesper Stubbs coming down here.
He did not want to leave this here. This is extremely difficult. I think he's got to land it up top and then just try to get it to trickle over that ridge. Or he's going to just try to fly it all the way to the bottom.
Good shot.
Excellent.
Frank, if you and I hit it in that sandbar, we might need a lifeguard on duty just in case.
Fairly straightforward bunker shot now, Colt, for Ding.
Yeah, he left this in a much easier spot than Stubbs did. I always think with the sand a little wet, it makes it so much easier to control.
Good sound, really good sound.
Yeah, they liked it. They'd say nice. That'd be an easy tap for a birdie, and 6 under par, depending on what Nakano does. Could be leading walking off that green. Now Enrique de Mayuga.
Bunkered again. He's found the sand a few times today. Lengthy second. Oh, but good from there.
We always say it's a game for a lifetime. Oldest player in this field, Rakirako from Lebanon, 66 years old.
Yeah, the 9th time he's played in this championship.
Go ahead. You've gotten a chance to know him?
Yeah, over the years. It's interesting. You learn about his homeland. And, well, we have the old and we have the young. Just a discrepancy of 54 years.
Yeah, Salam al-Dalat from Jordan. Obviously a difficult situation for Rahid coming out of Lebanon.
But as we mentioned yesterday, golf is his salvation. He has a shipping company and tries to get out to the golf course 2 hours a day.
And 12 to 66. And now at the 18th, this to get to 6 under par. Nakano.
Made a disappointing par here yesterday after 3-putting. With his length, he's got to take advantage of the par 5s.
Beautiful. So smart play on that second shot. As you said, Frank, no need to take the risk, and he's rewarded. And he goes out in 2 under, and he is at 6 under. And for the moment, solo lead, but Ding with a short birdie putt to tie. This could be some finish here as that fog is thickened here at Gotemba.
Stubbs desperately needs a birdie.
Certainly does.
Looking for his first one of the day here, Frank. And that was such a good bunker shot.
Yeah, well done. That's a great up and down from the back left. There's another par 5 to come up on the 3rd that's reachable. So just eke a little closer to even par. That would be the goal today.
At last, a smile. After the eagle at 18, Laupati makes the turn. Long birdie try.
It's a great play here. He's got a pin high, just taking his putter instead of just chipping in the air. It's still a good play from the young man. He's played some great shots today.
Arizona State guy like Wenyi Ding.
Nothing in this one right here. Just inside of 3 feet for his birdie.
Well, perhaps in a couple of days he comes to this final hole. Never know. Raise the trophy. Join that amazing list of champions around this golf course.
I mentioned the Taiheiyo Masters played here with Seve and Olazabal, Darren Clark, Graham Marsh, and others winning here. But the 2001 World Cup was played right here. Ernie Els, Retief Goosen winning in a playoff. And you can see David Duval and Tiger Woods were a part of it. And Frank, Tiger would tell you this one of the best shots he's ever hit is this chip shot here on the final hole. He had to make it to get into the playoff.
And he elected to play a bump and run. I spoke to David Duval the other day. He just said he just laughed. There was alternate shot. Duval had hit 3-iron, pushed it. He said, I hit it in the worst possible place.
Mike Tirico was on the call, and before Tiger hit the chip shot, Mike said, can he find the magic to chip in for the tie? The answer then was always, of course he can. And then he did it. And it's sometimes forgotten because, at least in the United States, Frank, it happened in the middle of the night.
Correct. They were going for back-to-back World Cups. They had one in 2000.
In Argentina, I believe.
Argentina. And when I spoke to David, he said, you know, he and Tiger every now and again goes, well, we were never beaten in regulation play in 2 World Cups. It took extra time.
You know,
the team of Goosen and Els.
All right, Rizk Adam Rohizam from Malaysia. He is right there at 4 under. Okay, and just to finish up on Tiger. Tiger played in Japan a number of times going back to the Casio World Open 1998. He won the Dunlop Phoenix, which you played in, Frank. Tiger winning it back-to-back in 04 and 05. Hideki won it in 2014.
And, of course, the 82nd PGA Tour win.
Most importantly.
You
were on the call for that with Steve
in
Sands.
Tokyo. Yeah. He tied Sam Snead, most number of wins.
How exciting was that?
It was actually a Monday finish. We had weather similar to this on the Friday, so it was delayed. And Hideki Matsuyama was also in the hunt. It felt like all of Tokyo turned up to watch that day.
This tee shot plays 35 yards downhill. Just want to send it over that left bunker.
big drop in elevation. That's a huge tee shot. Plays some 35 yards downhill.
He's been impressive, Frank.
Watching him warm up yesterday, Rich, every shot he hit went right to left, so this should suit his eye perfectly. Oh, but once again, he's hung it a little right. Wind trying to move it left.
Okay. Take a look at this hole, Frank.
3.5 clubs, really 35 yards. That's what it equates to. So the left bunker, in layman's terms, 308 to carry, but you can take 35 yards off that. So a lot of these players, they have PGA Tour type power. They can easily blow it over the left bunker. And we saw that both with Nakano and Ding. And from there on in, you shorten this hole really to just over 400 yards. It's a good birdie opportunity despite the flag or the hole being cut all the way in the back today. Fairly narrow green, soft, receptive, but the trees behind should protect any wind around here. Good chance really through these next 3 holes. Straightaway par 4 next, and then the reachable par 5 third. Now, the defending champion.
Walking over from 18, told me he's going to start hitting some fairways for me. Oh, he hit this one hard, but it's also turning over a little bit.
He's dry. Been a good one here in Japan. Yeah, we're on the bullet train. Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. What a ride.
The land of the rising sun's become the land of the rising fog right now, as it looks like it starts to lift. There's amazing cedar and Japanese cypress trees, cherry blossom trees. So we just hope it stays away. This is one thing I always get to enjoy each and every year, like you do, Rich. See 2 nations walk down the fairway and just chat a little golf.
Game bridges gaps. Frank, when you played, maybe with somebody you hadn't known before, how'd you approach that?
Start off with a good shot. You know, what did you do? You have to instigate it. I still have a visual at Royal Melbourne of Guan Tianlong playing alongside Ryan Ruffles. And I think they were barely 15, 16 years of age. And Ryan Ruffles was telling Guan Tianlong how to play the 18th hole at Royal Melbourne. It was some of the best audio I've ever heard in this great game. And it was just one player helping another and saying, hey, welcome to Australia. This is the way you play the hole. So,
I think the other beautiful part of all of this, Frank, is the friends that they will make.
Yeah,
along the
forever
way.
and a day. Enrique here at 16. It's got a little speed to it. The spot just needs it to run out.
What? Are we what? Are we going to what? What we did?
Championship leaders. Rentaro Nakano right here from Japan, and Wenyi Ding just enjoyed a nice chat. And as they get older, they'll fully realize this game is not simply about the big championships they are pursuing, titles they will have won, but the friends they make along the way. Both just made birdie at that par 5 18th. They started their day at the 10th. And here's a guy trying to get to 5 under par, Rohizam from Malaysia. Maybe. Oh, yes, get in. Loves it, and why not? So he's now at 5 under and only a shot off the lead. And it's 17. Taiheiyo from the Philippines. Generates a lot of speed. Good shot.
Staying on the swing.
Philippines, you think about names like Ben Arda, Frankie Mendoza. And now the first hole here is Nakano.
141 left, just 6 paces behind this whole location. This one on a good line, but needs to hustle.
Controlling spin, that's a challenge here with all the moisture on the golf course. Nearly 4 inches of rain overnight. That's a lot. Now Wen Yi Ding.
Perfect tee shot, 114 left. And coming off a little bit of a downslope, he can try to drive this in low and skip it back there. That's not very good here. That was mishit.
Yeah, probably his poorest shot of the day. Jasper Stubbs.
95 yards left, but cannot see the putting surface. Always makes you a little uncomfortable. Just got to trust that yardage.
Not enough. Long birdie putt for Stubbs, who's 3 over, defense of his title. While we have a moment, let's go to Amanda.
Well, Rich, you know how much we love getting to know the players in this field. Right now, we're looking at Gideon Tekeli. He's participating in his 4th AAC and says in a country like New Guinea, golf is one of the lesser-known sports. And he told me in his home country, they have just 3 18-hole golf courses and a few 9-hole courses throughout the smaller regions. Oh, as he just burns the right edge right there. So it makes sense when Tekeli says that unless you earn an invitation to this championship, it's literally impossible to make others at home understand the caliber of courses they play around the world because of this event. He told me that being able to play world-class golf courses is the biggest privilege, and it's an unreal feeling, never forgetting that players like Tiger Woods have walked these same fairways.
Yeah, beautiful story. Programs popping up all over. New Guinea, the Middle East, Vietnam. Obviously, it's good for the game economically, but Frank, it also adds layers to the sport. It's more colorful, more diverse, more interesting.
It certainly does. Just a footnote on Papua New Guinea. There's only 15 golf courses there. So very hard for the game to blossom, but it's a start, that's for sure, certainly in the right direction. Now, the opening hole, the 10th for this group.
Ding is going to be first to go. Came up a good 50 to 60 feet short with that wedge shot.
Stubbs also coming up short, struggled to get his approach shots inside that sort of 15, 20-foot window so far today.
There's a pretty big drop-off long and left here, so I think that puts a little fear in the players here at 1, Frank.
Yeah, just take 2 from here, wouldn't you, Colt?
Oh, no doubt about that. I'd say so far this week, his speed has been really good. Bounced on him a little bit early, but the speed looks really nice.
It did well from that range.
Art of lag putting.
Well, sometimes you have to let the putter do the work. You don't have the iron play. Take the stress. There's nothing wrong with a few pars in a row, despite the soft conditions.
And Frank, for young players too, there's sort of the art of putting a 72-hole score together.
Well
Learning that.
Yeah, well said.
Ebbs and flow of a round over 4 days. When to attack, when to pull back.
That's what Stubbs is trying to overcome.
Asking for it to sit. Another good putt.
They play briskly too, which is good. Ready golf is available here if you're slightly out of turn, if you want to play.
That has been a focus at these great amateur championships, is improving pace of play, and they've done it. Demayuga, a lot of work left. Frank, we'd like to see improvements. We all agree that professional ranks pace of play.
Yeah, for some reason it has slowed considerably over the last decade plus. That trend has to change.
This for the solo lead, Nakano.
Had the longest approach shot in, but the closest birdie putt is from just inside of 20 feet.
Okay. Stays at 6 under. Par to begin this back nine. This is his second nine. They started at the 10th.
Frank, it's going to be an interesting day for them tomorrow, having to come out, play some holes, and then sit around and wait all day to come back out again.
Yeah. Right back to 17.
Demayuga.
Yeah, they'll have to turn around very quickly. The opening tee shot was scheduled for 6:30 in the morning to Colts Point, and then it gets dark about 5:30. So it's the window that we have now. Back to the highest ranked player here, Wen Ding, to remain at 6 under. Certainly played a little better today, despite the scruffy start. It's been consistent. Nice clean card.
Yeah, good hustle from Dad. Right off they go to the second hole. It's par 70, and this is par 4.
Yeah, just another hole, doesn't bend to the left or the right. There's a little water to be awarded down there. Some guys are throttling back. You do not have to hit driver down here. Really just avoid those two bunkers on the right. Once again, no elevation to judge on the second shot. Find the fairway and you will once again have a short iron in hand. So they've got a good chance over these next couple of holes. They have about another hour of daylight. Big enough green, but goal fairway first, and a little bit of breeze at their back.
And you see Randy Bintang 5 under par. Unsure whether he'll even hit a shot today. Set 15, second shot for Ryura Matsui of Japan. Excellent shot, Matsui. Already with 3 birdies on the card, but did make a double and a bogey on that front side. Sitting at 3 under par and only 3 back. Now Enrique Demayuga.
They're using the right side of the tee, so you can just aim at that left bunker and try and take it out of play. So 285 takes that bunker out of play.
Does he take a rip at it, Frank?
Good looking tee shot.
Yeah. Might be bunker.
No, I mean, it
Yeah, I mean,
is
it's good.
soupy out there right now. Ding at second.
Water definitely in play down the left. Ding's going to go with 2-iron and stay short of it. This one headed up the left, but he seems to like it.
He really has command of what he's doing, Frank.
Yeah, it's that patience. See, Nakano's going to do the same thing, fairway first.
The water starts at 280 yards off the tee, so no reason to try to force anything here at 2.
Yeah, 2 good tee shots so far.
And the second green is starting to disappear, Frank.
A little more aggressive for Stubbs.
Yeah, he knows he has 8 holes left. Got to get aggressive coming in. Would have to think that cut's going to be around 3 or 4 over.
Good width in that swing.
He likes it.
So 3 good tee shots. .435-yard par 4 second.
Glad you guys didn't fall over.
Now Matsui to finish it off after that excellent shot.
What a good 3. So despite the double bogey that you referenced earlier, Rich, really in the thick of things.
And a good performance so far by the host country. Number of players in red figures, several in contention, and one tied for the lead, Rentaro Nakano. Let's see. Taishimoto has given a couple back today. Wenyi Ding of China is right there with Nakano, tied for the lead at 6 under par. Day 2 from Japan.
Oh, he's got power. The John Rahm type swing of Rentaro Nakano. And he's tied with the highest ranked player in the field, Wenyi Ding from China. Runner-up last year, lost in the playoff to the 3rd player in the group, Jasper Stubbs. Fog very much an issue right now. It was rain earlier. 4 inches of rain fell since the opening round yesterday. Different countries here, and if you look at the venues, China has hosted this great championship already 3 times, just the 2nd time for Japan. But the collection of players, seen a 66-year-old play, and this, the second shot, or the tee shot of the 12-year-old. From Jordan. Salim Natalie attired. And we were just talking about Ready Golf. He took no time whatsoever. So the future is bright. If they can play quickly and they can play well. Needless to say, his first appearance, if he played at 11, I think, well, they'd have to rewrite the rules. And he's already had 3 World Amateur Golf Ranking wins this year, despite his tender age of 12. So, another player we got to meet over the last couple of days. And back here at the second hole, second shot for the defending champion, Jasper Stubbs.
188, 180 to cover in line. This one was flushed and looks really good in the air.
Starting to put a few good swings together now. There's plenty of gap though. He's 9 behind the 2 players he's playing with. Left clean in place. Been in play all day today. So we suspect, Colt, that was temporary water with the drop?
Yes. And even though they are playing the golf ball up, you still got to go through the process of dropping if you are taking relief. But Ding has 169 left. Tough hole location over here on the right with the wind off their right. Wind moving this left towards the center of the green.
Yeah, can't blame him for that. It's just 4 yards right of this flag today.
Nakano
wasting no time, just 1 yard closer, 168. I hope the pros at home are watching this pace of play.
Play quickly and they play well. Spins denied that one, so a lengthy birdie putt at the second coming up for Nakano. Perhaps a club short.
Slow in starting, but it's been a good day of golf here in Japan. Watching 2 of the best amateurs in the game. Wenyi Ding and Rentaro Nakano. And here's a youngster who may one day be among the better amateurs in the game. Salem Al-Abdalat from Jordan. 12 years old. Talented young guy, well schooled, big aspirations, that's for sure. 2024 Pan Arab Golf Championship. There is the youngster with some of the hardware. And that was just last week, Frank.
He's playing a lot of golf.
And he won the under 13 division in the Pan Arab Golf Championship. So again, just nearly everywhere around the world they are competing, they're learning, getting good instruction. Some of these academies that have popped up through the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship.
I'm sure he's got a few friends back in Jordan that he plays with, so he can take back some new skills and show them. Now 16.
Matsui to get to 4 under. Didn't like it from the jump as we go back to the 9th. And the youngster from Jordan.
He's already got an Instagram profile. I like it. He describes himself as a junior golf player in Jordan trying to make it to stardom. I like that.
Yeah. We'll be in the Middle East next year, Dubai, for the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. DP World Tour starts its calendar year in the Middle East in Dubai. Well, that's great technique right there, Frank.
It is. Just 4 years ago, the Jordan Golf Federation started an initiative to create a junior league championships. So sort of young into the process, encourage children to take up the game.
A little smile right there. He loved it. All right, this is at the second hole now. Nakano, long birdie putt.
And it's going to move hard to his left. Going to have to start it a good, I would say, 3 feet out on the right. Oh, he just smashed this one through all the break.
Wow. Have a good 11, 12 feet left.
That came out of nowhere.
Won the 2023 Japan Amateur Championship. Part of that great national program being overseen by Garrett Jones of Australia. Done so much good work the last 7-8 years. Now Wen Yi Ding for birdie.
And you're not supposed to really pay attention to what the other players are doing, but I have a feeling Ding probably took notice of that. Wouldn't be surprised if this comes up a little short.
Good call, Colt. Top 16 ties will make the cut, and at the moment it is about 5 over. But again, a lot can change because
yeah, we'd imagine it'd go up, not down that number.
Exactly.
Especially given the conditions.
Stubbs.
Not so hard.
I would say that was his best iron shot of the day. Got right around 15 feet.
It's a good roll. And now at the 9th. Our young standout from Jordan. It was good up and down, Frank.
Yeah, pops it in.
I can't wait to see him grow up.
Even the brim's just deliberately a little crooked there. Give him the look.
Great shirt, repping his country. Ryan Ahmed is on the cut line. It's a birdie putt.
At the par 5.
Yeah, get in.
That helps the cause. So many.
Okay, see the cut moving, but he might be able to make it before all is said and done. Now, Nakano, much more than he bargained for, Colt.
Yeah, you said it, every bit of 11, 12 feet coming back. Needs to make this to avoid his second 3-putt of the week.
I don't know about that. I mean, the way he let go of it, I thought he missed it, didn't like it, banged it right in.
I'm very confused by that reaction. I thought he missed it right when he hit it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like.
That's confidence.
I got to ask him at the end of the day whether that one was going in.
He stays tied for the lead. Now, just a little bit left for Wen Yi Ding.
Frank, maybe it's a thing over here in Japan. I mean, Hideki one-arms iron shots all the time. Yeah. They go right by the hole.
Start a new trend. A more conventional 4 for Ding.
speaking of Hideki, that was a big win Sunday singles against world #1 Scotty Scheffler at the President's Cup. Here at the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, it is Wenyi Ding tied with Rentaro Nakano of Japan.
Now push peek up from Sri Lanka. They're famous for their cricket these days. Very good cricketing team. It's climbed up the world rankings. And a little shout out to our camera crew. That's a spider's web. So we have the camera guys have been here all day trying to beam these pictures around the world. And that's Dan, our cameraman, up on the tower on 18. Shout out to Dan Evans, bringing these wonderful shots down 18. I can barely see the two bunkers. Fog is winning right now. Wonderful trees here, saying, and consequently, because of the fog at the moment, there's been some discussion with some of the groups on 18 whether the fairway is visible enough for them to tee off. So we're seeing some of the players actually wait at a couple of groups. Log jam there at 18, and the fog drifts away, and they're clear to hit the tee shot. So we probably have 40 more minutes of daylight if the fog stays away.
The Asia Pacific Amateur Championship is brought to you by Delta Airlines. Delta, keep climbing. 3M Science, applied to life. And in partnership with Rolex. Absolutely spectacular venue here, right at the base of Mount Fuji. And we're at the third with co-leader Wenyi Ding, China.
Bunker down the left. Certainly within reach. If the lie's okay, might be able to reach the par 5. Probably take his best from here. Hole plays a little longer than its yardage by virtue of being back up the hill. So 562, playing more like 590 yards. Both bunkers very much in play. Have not really seen anyone pop it past that bunker on that right side, so that fairway does shrink. Fairway first, and then it's a lengthy second shot. Otherwise, you've got to plop that third. Take that layup bunker out of play on the short right. Green is perched up a little bit. Excellent putting service. Fairly tame hole location. Good opportunity for these players. The last of the two par 5s they will see today.
And now Nakano.
And these guys are asking the referee if they're going to keep playing because you can hardly see this fairway.
Try to give that everything, Colt.
Maybe that'll be perfect.
I have no idea where that one went, guys. Can't really see much out here right now.
Down the right side. Bunkered, perhaps. Just gave it a larrup. See, it's a more of a modern move. The opening up of the left foot restricts a little bit of the pressure on the back. Soft spikes also help that. And, well, the golf club, you could deem that a full release.
Well played, Frank. Jasper Stubbs.
This one headed up the left center, should find the fairway.
Good tee shot.
Can't see them land.
Let's go back down to Amanda.
Rich, thank you. This is Wasim Mani Bensang's third AAC, but his first is 2015. So I had to ask him, buddy, where you been? Well, it turns out that Wasim actually stopped playing golf entirely when he went to San Diego to attend Cal State San Marcos, where he majored in marketing. Wasim told me he didn't even bring his clubs to the States with him. He was just so burnt out and wanted to focus entirely on his studies. Well, when he graduated and returned home to Laos, all of his friends were playing golf, so he got sucked right back in. All of that time away, he told me, has allowed him to enjoy playing more. He said he feels like he's a little kid out here again, like when he started at 7 or 8 years old. He also told me it took about a year to get back into form, but he practices even more than he did before he took that break, and he plays every day. Now, Rich, talk about going from 0 to 100. Wasim now works at his home course where he's a marketing manager. Sometimes it takes taking a step away to let yourself reinvest tenfold.
Yeah, it's a great point and a good story, Amanda. Wasim, 26 from Laos, has represented his country in the Southeast Asia Games, did make the cut. So, dramatic looking sky here over Gotemba. Coming to the end of our broadcast window here. Jasper Stubbs here at this par 5.
He's got 286 yards to the hole, but plays 13 up the hill. So 299, but does have some helping wind.
You'd have to get every bit of this to have a chance.
Go. Go. Go.
Trying to
Sure
turn it
sounded
in.
good, and it's on a really good line.
Oh, tried. Didn't need that much more.
Here's our man, Manabun Singh from Laos. Oh, yes. He has traveled all over the world playing this game. And back to Wen Yiding.
Ball sitting down in this left rough. Boy, but that was aggressive. Came out really low and should have some tumble to it.
As much tumble as you can have in soft conditions like this. Nearly 4 inches of rain overnight. Battling the elements, the rain, and now the fog.
Risky shot here, though, for Nakano. That lip in front.
That ball is sitting perfectly, though, Frank. As long as he catches it solid, shouldn't have any lip issues.
Got it clean.
Yep, this is perfect.
Oh, that's a good shot.
It is. He's been fun to watch, Frank.
Yes. Took the bull by the horns there.
Maybe another huge moment for Japan. We'll see what Nakano does. We come to the end of our broadcast. Frank, what do you think so far?
Conditions won over early on, but surprised with the scoring. We thought it might have been a little bit better, but the guys are starting to finally adapt. Be interesting to see if they can perhaps birdie this par 5, get it to 7 under. I doubt there'll be much time for more than a hole and a bit, but we did not see a single shot from Randy Bintang. So if we get good conditions tomorrow, could be opportunity knocks for him.
2 quality players running out front right now.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we expected them to do well, but like I said, good conditions tomorrow. Randy Bintang, a little rest in the hotel. He might have the best conditions.
Keep an eye on Enrique de Mayuga. The Philippines has won college golf tournaments in the United States. Tremendous performance today by Pangsapaklao Pakti from Thailand. 4 under, made the eagle at 18.
Yes, went out in 31. He's playing the best golf at the moment today in these conditions.
This is the guy, though, I think they're going to have to beat. That was Wen Yiding, and the man who will have the home support, Rentaro Nakano, one of a handful of Japanese players in contention. That is quite the sight, isn't it, Frank?
It certainly is. Storm clouds. But one of the treats today, too, was